evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, shall we start?
Yeah, I'm ready when you want something else to be done.
Yes, ma'am, we can start. Good evening to one and all. I'm
I was
Ananya Mishra.
the whole day, so a little tired, but good.
Acha, okay, ma'am. Can we start now, right?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. Good evening to one and all. I'm Ananya Mishra, content writer at We Rise Together Foundation, and I'll be your host for the last episode of My First Period, an Instagram live special by We Rise Together to break the taboo surrounding people. Through this initiative, we will interview women and girls about their first period experiences and learn more about menstrual hygiene from them. Do you know that 23 million girls drop out of school annually due to the lack of proper menstrual hygiene management facilities? Well, we at We Rise Together Foundation are working to solve this problem through one of our initiatives, that is She Hygiene, wherein we have distributed over 4,000 sanitary pads to underprivileged women since the pandemic. We have also organized various educational sessions to spread awareness. Mrs. Swati Betkar, under the aegis of Vatsalya Foundation, Vadodara, started the Sakhi project. It was a path-breaking initiative of setting up low-cost organic sanitary pad manufacturing units for underprivileged ladies. The objective was to help women and girls maintain their menstrual hygiene and also provide a source of income to these women. She has been relentlessly working to spread the message of menstrual hygiene in various places of India. With the help from the government schemes for the poor, she set up her first Sakhi unit in Devgarh, Baria in 2010. Since then, with regular efforts to help the women with funds and education, she set up more and more units. The total number of units started under this project has reached 160. Good evening, Swati ma'am. Thank you for giving us your time. It is an absolute pleasure for me to host you today.
Same here.
Hope you are in wonderful spirits today, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, to set an example towards ending this hesitation surrounding menstruation, would you like to start by sharing what was your first period experience like?
Oh, it's quite interesting. In the school, I mean, you always face this first experience in school. We had a big group of girls, and it's rather funny. But the washroom was like there were many open spaces, for the girls. And we all used to use that open space. And suddenly, one girl would stop using that and would start going to, washroom with a closed door. So often wondered, like, why are they doing so? Suddenly was the problem. And yeah, one day we realized when we had to use, a closed door washroom. That was kind of first experience, a lot of curiosity uh, and a lot of unanswered questions. Uh, Luckily, I went to school in Mumbai, and it was quite a forward society. So our questions were answered. It was not that we were kept in the dark about the subject or some horrible rules were forced on it. It wasn't like that. But still, every girl has that anxiety, has to pass through that period. I too did.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, truly, ma'am, that anxiety overpowers the emotions of curiosity even sometimes. Ma'am,
Yeah.
it so very happens. So very, it's common. Yes. Ma'am, what advice would you like to give to girls who are at the onset of puberty, like in their teenage years, struggling through various things?
Oh, okay. Um, Rather than girls, I would like to give this insight to the mothers of the girl. Because the girl is most likely to believe what she's told to do, right? But if mothers are more open towards it, if mothers are willing to answer every question of the girl, if the mothers are, very forward in their thought process. And if they tell the girls, often what happens, girls are told to keep this whole thing hush hush. Don't tell anybody. Don't talk to father. Don't talk to brother. Stay quiet. Even in these days, girls are not told not to enter kitchen or things like that. They definitely are told not to mix with too many people, to take care. Uh, I understand the concern, but there is another side to it. If the mothers actually tell their daughters, see, this means there is one system which was dormant in your body has started working, that is reproductive system. Because uh, even if a girl gets her periods little early, uh, still it is standard not before standard fourth or fifth, and by that time you have learned body systems in your science book, and girl is old enough to understand that all the other systems work for your own body independently. But now there is going to be a difference. This reproductive system is partially placed in a girl's body and partially in a man's body, so it takes two people, to get the work done. So it is very important that a girl knows that now onwards, particularly with this system and with the added responsibility the nature has given to her of nurturing a new life inside her, things are going to be different. Not difficult, different. A mother has to, give these encouraging words to the daughter that now that you're growing up and you started with your periods, that means your reproductive system has also started working. You're going to look more beautiful. You're going to be more energetic. You will have many different ideas. You will feel like exploring the world. These things actually comfort a girl much more than scaring her with hush hush kind of things. So definitely I would tell the mothers that please discuss these things with your daughter so she feels comfortable and accepts her period as a reality of her life and not as some kind of a curse or a problem, lifelong problem, right?
Yes, Mami rightly said the accept periods not like a curse but as a natural body system that's going to happen to you anyhow, and
It
it's a
is
gift to
anyway the
you.
superpower of a girl because she is
Yes.
getting that capacity to create a life
Yes.
which no one else can.
Truly, ma'am, that is something which
Mhm.
I guess every mother and every parent has to know and teach their children that yes, you got to embrace the superpower of yours.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am. So the next question is, what ignited the spark in you to start your project, Sakhi, and how has been your journey ever since?
Oh, uh, well, inspiration, I mean, I had not decided this, rather this दूर दूर तक नहीं सोचा था. But then I'm a science communicator and I went to the villages, thinking I will involve more girls in STEM education. I'll inspire more girls to take up science as a subject. And was really disheartened not seeing there in the school after sixth or seventh standard. And well, it was anybody's guess that why they are not there. But the situation when I studied, it was really bad. I mean, there was a lot. I mean, there's complete ignorance among men and women about this whole process of menstruation, and it led to some kind of indifference by the men that this is a woman's problem and let them handle it the way they are. Well, it's okay. Women were anyway handling it or managing it. But this ignorance and indifference led to a very big injustice. And that injustice was only aimed at girls, that they had to lose out on their education. Just think when you lose out on education, you almost lose the right to a lifestyle. right? You can't decide that I will do something and bring, like, take forward my family. Uh, that is real injustice. So this, I don't know, I had this great urge that this is wrong and this should be stopped. And I did whatever I can to stop that. Started with awareness programs in a big way. Every village, every school, uh, even group of men, because I realized that to make a period normal for the society, the men had to accept it first, right? They had to understand what is the period and what is its importance in generally human life or human society. Yeah, so started doing that and realized that only awareness wasn't enough. Giving an affordable access to good sanitary products was important, particularly in rural area. So thought of involving rural women and so that it gave them livelihood as well as easy and affordable access to the pads. Just that was it. And once I got involved in it, I also realized that this couldn't be just, one of the NGO type projects that it runs for some time and then goes away with time. No, because I was involving lot of women's hope. I was associating their hope with it. And then I actually ran the whole project like a true business. So we converted it into a social enterprise, allowed every woman to learn the game of the business, and with the collective energy, with the collective wisdom, though raw wisdom, we turned it into what you can say a sustainable social enterprise, a sustainable business that could be run in a rural area. Uh, we experimented continuously with it, be it in operational aspects, be it in economic aspects. We involved the same rural women into a lot of research work. And yeah, here we are today with 170 units and with a 100% biodegradable napkin. And everybody who was involved with this project is, takes the credit for whatever little we have been able to do.
No, ma'am, your journey, like all, you have started with such small things and now you have come to such a big level. It's truly
Mhm.
inspiring to people. It's truly inspiring to those men who say that women alone are not capable of doing certain things. You are such a role model for those men. And ma'am, you truly said that education is very important for a girl. A girl is nothing, even not even a girl, a person is nothing without education. Education is very important. Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
What has been the impact of your actions through Sakhi? What change do you think it has brought in the society today we are living? Has it helped in breaking some taboos, like you told us earlier?
Okay. See, uh, in a subject means essentially, I never thought that it was going to be easy because I was fighting a very big ignorance and I was fighting a major, major taboo. First, I had to make everyone realize that it is the blood that is involved in the period has made it this, calling it impure, calling it a curse, or calling it whatever, all the bad things that we call. It is because the blood is involved. So actually, we had to devise a lot of experiments, hands-on experiments. Creating models of uterus out of old plastic bottles and out of paper, out of a lot of things, and actually teach girls that what exactly happens here. Then we had to even go ahead and teach men about this. That why um, uh, we've done bizarre things. We have created songs. We have created absolutely a lot of things. One of the songs is शरीर नहीं रखता पास जो चीज नहीं जरूरी, शरीर नहीं रखता पास जो चीज नहीं जरूरी, कुदरत के इसी नियम से आती है महावारी. Now we had to, relate this poem to men as well as women. Like a man's body wouldn't keep excessive sperms inside the body. A woman's body wouldn't keep unfertilized egg inside her. It would be, you know, thrown away, thrown out by the human body. Now these both things are absolutely equivalent. With a woman, what happens is just to nurture the fertilized egg, a new life, there's a lot of blood that is accumulated and endometrium that actually gives a nourishment to the new life, which is also being cleared of the place. And this added responsibility by the nature makes a woman menstruate. It's not by choice. It is a responsibility given by the nature. Uh, then yes, we have to make men understand that. See, there was a movie Interstellar or something where a human race is being completely wiped out, and just to save that, what all things human beings do. Here, a woman is doing it years after years, you know, facing problems herself because a period means a lot of physical pain as well. It's not an easy go for any girl, right? So something that she's doing happily, men particularly must learn to respect that. And this thought we have tried, you can, well, go to our YouTube channel, or you can go to our website and find out a lot of things in how many ways we try to put this across to. We have even formed WhatsApp groups of men, village men, so whatever we couldn't tell them eye to eye because they wouldn't sit in front of us and hear a lecture on periods. So we tried to give that information through WhatsApp. Positive use of social media. But surprisingly, uh, even this experiment was of ours is well accepted, because if we don't send any information, say in 15-20 days, we get messages that yes, we understand our responsibility now. We do understand that men have equal stake in a woman's health. So please give us the information because we like the way this information is given to us. So yeah, a little dent to the system, probably. The whole system may not have changed, but we have made a little dent. So,
Yes, ma'am, the little dent that you have made can lead to a very big change, because big things start with small things. Yes.
mhm.
Yes, ma'am, it's very important for children, for parents to talk to their children about reproduction and stuff, because one day or the other they are going to know about it anyhow. So it's better parents talk to them firstly. It's better than a
Mhm.
third person telling them.
Exactly, because parents are the nearest ones, and well, they have gone through it. They do the whole process. They can answer all their questions, and bizarre questions coming to children's minds. It is really very difficult for an outsider who doesn't know the child to answer to those questions.
Yes.
Parents can do that wonderfully. Even fathers can do that wonderfully.
Yes.
Mhm.
Ma'am, what do you think are the key aspects that like everyone should know about menstrual hygiene?
Key aspects. First of all, everyone must know that what they call dirty or what they think is bad omen is their lifeline. Why everyone must know about menstrual hygiene is, uh, number one, a girl faces a lot of pain. A girl faces a lot of discomfort when so much of blood is going out, and just to make that blood go out, her uterine muscles are contracting and relaxing all the time, and that's what causes this huge pain to a girl. Okay, and irrespective of this pain, this discomfort, girls are willing to carry out all their normal tasks. So anybody who is surrounding them should know that she is in pain, yet she is doing it. So instead of mocking her, a little sensitiveness, a little help is going to help her. Secondly, what is going out of a girl's body is the lifeline of a new life. Okay, the endometrium, which is because a lot of things, mm, leave aside boys, even girls don't know, even women don't know. The endometrium, you don't get periods when you're pregnant, right? So does that mean endometrium doesn't get formed? Well, no, it does. But that endometrium becomes the actually the what do you call umbilical cord of the new baby. Okay, because that's why every month it goes on extending, right? So in this case, this endometrium, which is going out of the body because that month the egg did not get fertilized. So it is very important for men to know this. So they start respecting it. What we call a period is not just a period or Mahavari, it is Jivan Daini almost. Because no umbilical cord, no connection with mother, no life. Right? So these are the key aspects men must know, and uh, little help to a woman that she should get a good changing room. You know, she should get that privacy to change her pad, to dispose of her pad with dignity, and I don't think it costs much. A little private space with water and soap availability, and something to discard her use pad. Then women are comfortable. You know, every 4 to 5 hours they should get this facility to change their pads, so they can make themselves comfortable. They can feel clean. They don't feel much discomfort or the tension. Daag lagna lag jaye kind of, if they get that, and I don't think they're asking for too much. Every society should provide them that. So
Ma'am, the fact that women are literally carrying out a new human being inside their wombs, and they are the reason this mankind is evolving, uh, a little sensitivity can be shown by men towards women. That's the bare
yes,
minimum.
must be shown by men, not can be. They
Yes,
must do
ma'am,
that.
that's true. Ma'am, that's literally the bare minimum men can do for women who are literally
Yeah.
carrying out their children. Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am, do you think that menstrual education should be introduced as part of the Indian scholastic curriculum for both menstruators and non-menstruators? Because in India, it is such a huge taboo regarding menstruation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, I tell you why. Because there is no preconditioning of girls. Hmm? Girls often, when they start their menstruation at the age of 10 to or 12, they have no idea. And then the first thing that comes to their mind, am I being punished for something? Blood makes you scared, you know. And then if the girl is told to sit aside, sit in the corner, then she mentally develops that. She grows up with this thought that something happens to me every month. There must be something awfully wrong with me, right? And that is never a good or never a healthy feeling for anybody to grow up with. A girl must grow up with confidence that whatever may happen to me, my family stands with me, my parents are standing with me, my teachers, my friends are with me in this. We are all together. And that will happen only if the whole idea, there are, and you don't have to teach much. You just have to teach them like every system, like respiratory system, eh, digestive system, excretory system, nervous system, or blood circulation system in your body work for one human body alone. The reproductive system is partially in a man's body and partially in a woman's body. Now, this is a nature's way of creating a balance in the population that it takes two people to create one life, And secondly, why it takes two people to create one life? A new life means a new generation, right? So while you're creating the new generation, the earlier generation must be in harmony. There has to be a lot of love, balance in the society before you bring in the next generation. And that is why such a beautiful thing like love nature has created, right? That every new life should be a product of love. Uh, and Exactly, that's why boys as well as girls must know about this. We ourselves, as an organization, we tried very hard that this whole knowledge should be given to children from from standard fourth or fifth, because these days the age of menstruation is become little early. If this knowledge is provided to them earlier, they will be prepared. And if this does happen, I don't want to say boys are insensitive. Boys are ignorant, and that is their problem. And they are taught to be indifferent. It has happened in many of our classes. When we educate boys, boys have helped the girls. They have saved them from getting humiliated. They have ran to the teacher saying that this particular girl needs help. Please help her. So, if we want to create a harmony in the society, want to create balance in the society, well, we have to be proactive. We have to give this knowledge and expect them to behave sensibly with sensitivity. I'm sure if we do that, they will. I mean, not only boys, teachers, parents, everyone will. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. The thing going, ma'am, it is feeded in a boy's mind from a very early age that girls are always inferior to you and you are the superior one. So I think
Yes.
mothers should teach their boys as well about menstruation so that they can also be a little sympathetic towards their mother, sister.
Yes. Can I give you an example, which is my own example?
Hmm.
Because right now, in all of India, Ganesh festival, right? And I come from a Maharashtrian family where Ganesh festival is a big thing. When I was in my young days, when I was in late school, or I don't remember the year exactly, but it was Ganesh Chaturthi time, and I was going to get my periods just by that time. And my friends, because that's what they had learned from their homes, filled me up with a lot of fear that, my God, how can you get your periods? Where will you sit? You'll have to sit aside, otherwise it will be a big sin. Somebody may die, something might happen to somebody. And like a young girl at that particular age would get scared, I too got scared. And one of my friends just pushed me a pill. And she said, take this. This pushes your period away. And I swallowed the pill happily without consulting anyone. And well, without knowing, if you swallow pills, you have to face the consequences. And I started vomiting heavily. I was sent home from the school, and my mother said, what happened to you? And when she found out that pill in my bag, she freaked out. You know what pill that was? That was a contraceptive pill, which are hormone pills, which are used by women to stop getting pregnant. And she freaked out that why, what is this doing in your bag, and what is the matter, and this and that. And I just told her, like, this happened. I was scared. I wanted to save all of you from anything wrong happening. So I swallowed this pill. I was trying to convince her कि मैंने आप सबको बचाया है, ये बहुत बड़ा काम किया है मैंने. And what I got in return is one good slap. Let's stop taking this. You are never going to take these pills. Anything. You're never going to do anything like this, because otherwise I would have told you. If the God said that He doesn't want all these things, I would have told you. I was wondering that day. Something important happened in the evening. My father, my brother, my mother. All three of them said, "You're going to stop taking these pills. Even if you get your period, it's all right. You are going to do the Agra Puja of Ganesh. And if the God decides to punish, all four of us will face that punishment. You be at peace in your mind that nothing is going to happen. None of us are going to be punished because this is nothing wrong. This is perfectly normal and natural." With lot of pressure on my head, on my heart, I did the puja. For a long time, I carried that fear in my mind. What if something happens to somebody? But with time, that fear subsided. And that confidence was given to me by my parents that come what may, we are with you because this is not wrong. This is natural and this is normal. I think every parent must give this kind of confidence. Every teacher must give this kind of confidence to a girl. And then maybe this particular thought, initially you had asked me, right, what was your inspiration? Uh, this wasn't the inspiration, but this was the confidence that what is happening to all the girls is wrong and must do something to change it, to give them the truth. And probably that's why this could happen or I could do this.
Ma'am, you said, ma'am, it is very truly said by you that parents play an extremely important role in teaching their girls about menstruation. They are the ones that have to feed this thing in their minds that it's completely normal and it's nothing abnormal happening to you,
Yes.
no matter how much anyone tells you otherwise, it's just a very normal body process happening to you, which is a blessing that you said earlier.
Yeah.
I would now take a short moment to bring your attention towards menstrual hygiene for all, a petition raised by the co-founders of We Rise Together Foundation, Araf Seth and Shreya. Through this petition, we raise the demand to include menstrual education in the curriculum for not only girls but boys as well from 6th grade onwards. I request you to contribute to a better future by signing through the link in the caption. Ma'am, let's move to
This
the
is a
next.
good thing you're doing. Even I will sign that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, what were the challenges and difficulties you faced while growing your project to such a mass level?
Everything. Everything. Right from telling the women that you can make sanitary pads. ये कोई बनाने की चीज है. That's what they would think. Uh, uh, well, challenges were going to be there. But
Yes.
uh, if you feel that this is important, persistence is the way. So stick to the project. First, it was just two, three women. When they actually started making pads, when they actually started making money out of it. Um, and as I said, we kept the project alive by involving a lot of people. Uh, it was never like, yeah, this is a ladies' project, only women will work. Now, we involve even husbands. So please be part of it. There are a lot of things that these women haven't done still, like simple things such as distribution or transportation of goods from one point to another. We involve men. See, one of my group leaders' husband worked for ST, State Transport, and he said, "Why don't you meet my boss? Because ST goes to every village. If he allows, it would be very easy for us to transport things." And you won't believe after that meeting, initially in Gujarat and now across India, Sakhi's raw material as well as finished goods travel through ST bus from one place to another. And the girls or the women working with it, they're rural women, barely they used to, go out of their house or barely they would have traveled probably to their Maika once a year or something. Now happily take the goods to the bus stand, put it in a bus, take a ticket for it. and call up the destination. इस number की बस में आ रहा है, उतार लो. Sort of. We have given new dimensions to the whole process of uh, keeping the inventory, dispatches. If our experiments are really, really different in that case. Yeah, even our quality control department is really different. We have made SaaS bow teams, and that has made so easy for women to go out of the house and work, because um, in the morning the woman may have to go to the fields. Sas has the full energy and she loves coming to the unit and check what the bow has done the previous day, whether it is correct or not, whether it is uh, made with good quality or not. With this, we've got the best quality control department probably. And we have also managed to change the home dynamics. Usually, हमने देखा है ना, we see it in TV everywhere. Okay, Saz and Bau, they can only fight. But here, they are partners in crime. They're working together, producing good napkins which are enabling girls to go to school. So a good Mahagadbandhan probably. So and like this, many social experiments, many economical experiments. We have tried our hand at using indigenous material as the absorbent. And because the women work in the fields, they would come to us saying what is not being used as fodder, and then we try to isolate cellulose from that, use it in the absorbent material, absorbent sheet. And yeah, our napkins, not only they are 100% biodegradable, the raw material used is 100% Indian. So we are not dependent on exports of the wood pulp and, mm, costs going haywire. No pressure, no tension. Everything is made right here. It's converted. We also involve farmers, a lot of farmers, so they can shift to zero waste farming with us. So these are the experiments. These are the challenges, and uh, well, I prefer not to call them problems because we keep them right in the front and try and solve them and go further, move ahead. So these are the challenges to be overcome.
Yes, ma'am, the determination you have to go through every single challenge with such a steady heart is just truly very inspiring for people. That you have overcome so much in your life, you have been through so much, and still you have overcome all of that with such a smile on your face, and that's very motivational.
It's the whole Sakhi group. I mean, it's not only me.
Yes.
It's almost Joe, Dairy, women who are associated with it. We are all in this together. Collectively, we are strength. So
Yes. So, ma'am, while educating on safe menstrual hygiene, did you see taboo in the minds of people? Like when we first started with she hygiene, there was a stigma surrounding menstruation embedded in the minds of the deprived girls. So, how do you think we can harvest the seeds of taboo from the minds of people?
very good question. See what happens. Taboos, they are outcome of less information. So providing good information is a must. Secondly, uh, people often have the fear of the unknown. Okay, and menstruation is an experience which men are never going to get, right? So that fear is always going to be there. That fear is there in women's minds too. Uh, I'll tell you some of the experiments which are very simple, but which the impact is huge with those experiments. What we would do, this is a practice of every household in India. That if a girl is menstruating, every rural household in India, I would say that, because the urban population is slightly changing, that a girl would sit either outside the house or some in some one corner She was not allowed to go here and there. What I would do, I encouraged girls in the school to go to her house and give her company because she's sitting aside. Okay, so all the girls they carried their tiffins or whatever the food they would bring to the school to her, gave her company, ate food with her, and through this experiential education, they realize सब कुछ होता नहीं है. Nothing really happens. Why are we so scared, right? Unless and until you actually experiment, you actually try and do something different, the different thought doesn't get accepted. Then the next thing we started was we requested, like in smaller villages, the village temple or the village madrasa would be the only place which would have a big hall, a clean place. So we would conduct our awareness programs from there. This was really challenging, convincing people, but uh, any good thought, any good experiment, if you deliberate it properly in a right way, uh, it works well. We actually started getting support from these religious institutions, that religion is something we need to keep it away from this natural process, this natural phenomenon. Nowadays you'll find in many places we conduct our awareness programs, where there are bhajans or where there are some religious programs happening. For that, we especially wrote garbas, we wrote bhajans, giving out the message of why menstruation is important, why it is important for a girl to get her period, and how it is helping the humankind, and why we must respect this. ओ रे सखी तू तो मारी साची रे सहेली रे भारे मारी जिंदगी ने करी ते तो सहेली रे. This is a garba which we would actually play out. Women would dance with it uh, around, and there was a time they accepted it. Yes, that no one is getting angry with us. Okay. Uh, थोड़ा बहुत स्टडी भी करना पड़ता है, रिसर्च भी करना पड़ता है. So our even if somebody brings in religion, no religious scriptures say period is bad. No, none. In none of the religion. We have to put across this fact to them. है ना? Study research होता नहीं किसी को. But if they are told this, they accept. So little hard work. You have to stretch yourself, and every educator of menstrual hygiene has to stretch a little bit, has to study a little bit more. By the way, all of you are most welcome to use the kind of experiments that we have devised, the kind of plays and songs and puppet shows and all that we've written. You are most welcome to use all of it to spread this education further, because we keep giving lots of anecdotes, lot of stories, and lot of such references which are useful in convincing people.
Ma'am, you have such amazing, interactive, and innovative ways of feeding, of harvesting the seeds of the taboos of menstruation from the minds of people. Ma'am, like people get bored by lectures. It's usually that, but you came up with such nice things like garbas and songs and plays, all of that. Ma'am, that is something which is very creative as well. The group of women who are with you also got something creative to experiment with, and people also got something creative to be introduced with. Yes.
Mhm.
So, ma'am, there are numerous change makers who are working towards eradicating period poverty. However, the figures are still grim. Globally, an estimated 500 million people who menstruate lack access to menstrual products and hygiene facilities. What do you think is the reason for this? How can we reverse these figures to get a positive result?
See what happens. Here we don't have a tradition. We, I'm speaking very responsibly, we do not have a tradition to address women's problems. Okay. Uh, for years together, women are considered a secondary uh, element in the society, and they have always been managing without complaining, right? This has led a few years back, which actually, forced me to do something serious about this problem. The one of the health gazette record was there were almost more than 70% women were affected with some or the other kind of infection or problem in the vaginal area. It was not one, but collectively, it was the percentage was more than 70%. Just think 70% women ill because of something as simple as keeping a hygiene, not being able to keep the hygiene, maintain the hygiene.
Yes.
Secondly, in our country, for years together, breast cancer, the percentage of breast cancer was the highest. Last 10 years, it is the cervical cancer percentage is the highest among the cancers in women. Now, this is happening because of a lot of polythene filled pads, forced in Indian market, dumped in Indian market, because there are no regulations on what should be sold in the market. So anybody just brings anything, things which are banned completely outside, pads filled with super absorbent polymers and nylon, polyethylene, women are given to use. And that bad radiation in the soft vaginal area, delicate vaginal area, is leading to cervical cancer, right? So this must be reversed. Now, this must be understood by the people, and more women's groups must be encouraged to make their own napkins. Now, they may be from anybody, any maid, any, but then they should be Indian. See, there was a method of using cotton cloth, which was a very sustainable method here. But now that method is no more sustainable as cotton cloth is diminishing. A malmal, good malmal sari is kind of ये तो अमीरों की ऐश हो गई है. Nobody can afford really a cotton sari. Uh, and then there is no water. Water is a diminishing resource. So you need to use a pad which is disposable. It is best to use a disposable pad. So spreading awareness, involving more and more people, like how we tried. We tried to locate problematic things in the society, such as water hyacinth. It actually covers up the whole water body, dries it up. We used that capacity of absorbing water or absorbing liquid into something positive. We used that in the absorbent material, used for our napkin. And surprisingly, these things have wonderful medicinal, medicinal characteristics, which actually stop women from getting any kind of infections or rashes. They fight the infections. So something that was a nuisance is converted into something good, something useful. So whenever we are trying to use Indian absorbent material, we are not trying to cut trees, or we are not trying to, eradicate forests. We are trying to use things which are a problem in the society, converting them into something good. Okay. And so awareness about this must be spread. There are small pockets. So some time back, I had started a movement which was called the Hygiene Bucket Challenge. Sometime back, you must have heard of uh, what the ice bucket challenge. It started in cold countries, so putting a bucket of ice over you was challenged there. Here, people will enjoy it, garmi mein ice. And besides, it said that you save your money and not donate it. But then we are different people. We are Indians. Giving is in our system. So I started this challenge called One Empowered Woman Empowers Another. How? By gifting 12 packets of sanitary napkins to a girl who's not aware of them or who cannot afford them. Okay. And if you buy Saki packets, they cost so little, just one coffee or maybe half a pizza. But the girl who receives them, for her, is the whole year of infection free life. Such a big thing, such a great gift. In 1 year's time, the girl gets used to using or living in hygienic conditions, and then she starts planning that I'm going to cut off on some other expenses. Maybe मैं chips नहीं खाऊंगी. I would save that money to buy a packet of sanitary napkins, and that is going to change the life of every girl. Besides, sanitary napkins is a very, very safe way because it is used outside the body. The hygienic practices by our society, then that is not going to hamper. That is not going to give any, what you call, uh, unnecessary, like, use of tampons can give you toxic shocks. Menstrual cups, again, you have to fight with mm, lot of taboos or lot of fixations in mind. We have made virginity a very big thing. So to fight all of that, though they are very good tools to fight menstruation, we ourselves make menstrual cups, but even then, we find it difficult to convince a lot of girls. But still, uh, pads are very safe, and if you dispose them of in a right way, not litter them around, and use it, dispose them off in an eco-friendly manner at source. If you just burn them off in a condition, in an oxygenated conditions, then they're perfectly safe. Or if you just compost your pads, they are perfectly safe. They are not going to be a cost to the corporations and others, but are definitely useful to the society. So this awareness, spreading awareness is very important. So like the hygiene bucket challenge, one woman empowers another. Now I invite all the boys and all the men that one empowered person empowers another by sharing this knowledge, and if you can, by gifting sanitary products to the girl who can't afford them. You're
Yes.
going to change the society completely.
Yes, ma'am. I'm like the figures that you stated that 70% of the population of girls
Yes.
goes through vaginal infections. These figures are really horrifying. That
Yes.
just something as simple as just education and proper hygiene, girls go through this, and it must be very not very typical at the sound, but it is very horrifying. Yes.
Yeah.
Ma'am, so last question is lastly, what message would you like to give to our audience watching this episode?
I have to give message to whom? Come
Ma'am,
again?
to the audience watching this episode, who are watching this
To
episode.
all the girls, I would say, please keep yourself little higher in your priority list. Make sure that you are observing good hygiene because you deserve it. And for boys, again, I would tell them that keep all the girls on a little higher priority list, not not for having them as girlfriends, but for having them as good citizens and torch bearers who are going to take the human race ahead. So be sensitive to them, and instead of mocking, just be a little cooperative. And well, even during hard time, they make a good friend. Uh, Men, I would again repeat, men have equal stake in a woman's health. because a healthy girl, a healthy woman means a healthy family and healthy society.
Yes, ma'am. These are truly some inspirational words. Thank you so much for sharing your invaluable experiences with us today. I'm sure we have taken a small step towards breaking the taboo surrounding menstruation through the last episode of My First Periods. We Rise Together Foundation is continuously working to ensure safe menstrual hygiene for all. So support us in this cause by donating to the details in the caption. If you want to volunteer in the organization or collaborate with us, you can send a direct message and we will reach back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching today's episode of My First Period. See you in the next one. Till then,
Wish to all
namaste.
of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming and joining us. I had a really great experience talking to you.
You will end the live, right?
Yes, ma'am.